the questions to keep myself aligned. Waste away the hours doing what I should, knowing that my soul tells me it's not for my own good.
So today we're talking about, and I'm just going to start pretty soon. I'm just going to give it another minute and wait for some people to join on. But today I really want to talk about the second face of infinity. No, sorry, the second side of infinity and the first face of intention. So the second side of infinity and the first face of intention. That's what we're going to talk about today. Can't say that fast. Okay. So a lot of people, especially women, okay, especially women, a lot of people, and especially women, do not live their own life, okay? What they're doing is doing the life of what other people want for them, what other people are telling them to do, what other people are obligating them to do, all right? It's like, are you living your own life or are you a puppet on a string? I mean, it's kind of a hard, direct way of saying it, but it's very, very true. And we think that we're all noble and stuff. And we're like, oh, I'm looking after everybody and blah, blah, blah. But I can tell you right now, especially for women, if you think you were brought into this world to only play one role, mother, wife, you are sadly mistaken. Okay? That is not the only reasons that you were brought here. Okay? That is not the only purpose of this energy inside you, is not about just being a mom or just being a wife. And I say the word just, and I hate the word just because I find that it's a belittling word, but I'm not trying to belittle you, but there is more to you, more sides to you than that. Okay? There is more to you than that. All right? So I'm just going to read a quote out of one of Wayne Dyer's books, and it says, "You cannot actualize your own destiny as prescribed by intention by living in a plan designed and implemented by those around you." Let me just read that again. You cannot actualize your own destiny as prescribed by intention by living in a plan designed and implemented by those around you. Okay? So if you do what others say, if you live your life by what others are expecting of you or obligations that you feel that you have, then you are not living your purpose. And when I talk about purpose, I'm not talking about that, oh, what's my path and purpose that everybody asks about. I am not talking about that purpose. You are not living your life with purpose. You are not living your life purposefully. Okay, so that's what you're not doing. You're not living your life with purpose. And once again, I'm not talking about purpose and path here. That's not the purpose that I'm talking about. I'm saying that you are not living your life with purpose. Okay? You are living your life. Okay, this is the words that come into my head because a lot of you know me that I am claircognizant, so I just get words dropped into my head. And you're living your life, the word that I'm getting is like a tool, okay? Like someone else's tool. All right? Yes, what you're doing as a caretaker and a partner and all of those things is fantastic. If you hear some water and stuff, my dishwasher's going. Those things are fantastic and amazing and part of what we do. But there is more to you than that, okay? And there is a part of you deep down inside that actually knows this. There is a part of you that's deep down inside that knows what path you are supposed to be taking. There is a part of you that knows this. Now, I'm not saying dump your family and go live in an ashram, okay? What I'm saying is you need to understand that there is more to you than this. There is more to you than this. Okay? You are a vehicle with this amazing energy inside you that is creation. And you were meant to do more than be a mom or a wife or just play a role, okay? So yesterday we talked about the first side of infinity, and the first side of infinity was the time, where time is an illusion, okay? Time is now, okay? So everything in the universe is happening right now. It doesn't matter if it was 70 billion years ago, it is all happening right now, okay? So the second side of infinity, the second side of infinity is space. Okay, space. How big do you think that the universe is? Like, how big? Do you think that there's an end? Right? Do you think there's an end to the universe? Do you think that maybe there's like all of a sudden, if you just keep traveling and traveling, you're going to hit a wall? And like, what would be on the other side of that wall? Right? So infinity is infinity. Like, it just goes on and on forever. Like, can you just, like, when you think these things, like, we say words like God, and we say words like infinity, and we say words like purpose, and we say these words and we use them so often that they almost lose their meaning. Okay? Think about infinity. Like, that is incredible, right? So when you think about infinity, that is incredible. And what about the word God, source, universe, energy? Like, these are massive words with huge meaning. So, I mean, just looking at the stars outside, you know, when you lay on when you look outside and you're just looking at the stars, the cool thing about the stars is by the time we see them, that light has come from 5,000 light years away. Like, that is huge, right? That is huge. And maybe we don't really understand it because what do we grasp? Like, what does 5,000 light years look like, right? So that's massive, right? Massive stuff going on. So there's an infinity of space. And that is the second side of infinity. Is the first side is time, and the second side is this space, okay? And the space between the space. Like, there's just so much space and different dimensions, and it's like a hologram, and there's different dimensions and different realities, and like, holy crap, there's a lot going on. There is a lot going on. Now, the first face of infinity, and we're going to talk about 7 faces, but today we're just going to talk about the first face. So the first face of infinity is our interiority, right? Our interior, right? And like, here's another thing of infinity, right? Like, think about this. How many thoughts do you think that your brain, that's the size of a grapefruit, can hold? How many thoughts do you think that your brain can hold? Is that not another infinity? Right? So that's also infinity, right? Like, I mean, our mind is also infinite. The energy in our body is infinite. And yet we walk around life thinking that we are so limited, and we act very limited. Right? We live our lives in a very limited way. But we are full of infinite capacity. Okay? So there's no boundaries in how many thoughts our mind can hold. There is no beginning, there is no end. Just like infinity. There is no beginning and there is no end. It just goes on and on forever and forever and forever. Right? Which is also a very cool concept, right? So when we think about death, there are 2 points of view. There's a very, well, it's not so westernized anymore, but there's like the typical traditional westernized view of death, which is, you know, we live, we die, we're gone, right? In infinity that goes on and on and on forever, do you really think that's like a possibility? We live, we die, we're gone. Maybe this body is gone. This body decays. This body starts to, run its course. But the energy within this body doesn't. And then there's the second piece that I believe in, that it's starting to be proven, is that it's eternal, right? We are eternal. So we are also infinite, right? We are also infinite. Maybe not in this body, but we are also infinite, okay? So our true being never dies, as it's not even possible. Okay, it's not even possible. So in the 7 phases of intention, we're talking about our interiority, but we're also talking about our creativity. Okay, our creativity. This is where we create. I mean, think about it. God, creation, source, universe, whatever you want to call that energy, is always creating, And so are we. If you think that you are not creating the life that you live right now, you are sadly mistaken. So nobody's doing anything to you. You are full on responsible for everything going on in your life. You are constantly creating. You are a creator. But the message that I've been trying to get across in all of these videos is you can create whatever you want if you work purposefully. You can create whatever you want if you work purposefully, right? And I hope that you're sharing these videos, and I'd love to hear your comments and questions on this and your experiences in this. I have a few people that come in on the mornings to watch me, but yet I'm not stopping because I believe that you want to know this message, and maybe not everyone is ready to learn the message. Maybe not everyone is ready to hear the message. Everyone is ready to be creative, and that's okay if they want to stay in the situation that they're in. We awaken a few at a time, okay? And so when we're not creating something that is through our goodness, through our godness, okay? So when we are not creating through that, through love, you are not in the field of intention. You are working with ego, okay? So when you are not creating through your goodness, then you are working with ego, all right? So you need to learn how to bring ego in as a team player, because if you're going to work with ego, then it needs to be working properly. If you are living through your life through someone else's design, you are not in the field of intention. So if you are not creating something through your goodness, if you are living your life through someone else's intentions, then you are not living with your purpose, and you are not in the field of intention. You've turned your back to it. Okay? If you are not satisfied with your life, then you are not with Source. If you are not satisfied with your life, you are not with Source. This is not God's fault. If your life is not in a good place, and it's not the fault of the universe, it's not the fault, we like to blame, right? So it's not the fault of anyone else. Point a finger, 3 pointing back at you. I've told you that before. You point your finger at someone else, you've got 3 more pointing back at you. Threefold, okay, threefold. So if you are not living your life with purpose, if you are not satisfied, if you are not creating out of your goodness, if you are living your life according to someone else's intentions, then you are not with Source. You have turned your back on your connection. You are still connected. You will never be disconnected, but your connection is almost like rusty and corroded, okay? But you can fix that, because we don't talk about has been anymore, right? Those of you that have been watching me, we don't talk about how our life was 5 minutes ago. We're talking about how our life is moving forward from now on, because everything we say, we create, right? Everything that comes out of our mouth is a creation. Everything. When we talk about our past, we're not reporting the news. We're not, right? So we have to think about, what do we want to create with our goodness? Okay, what do we want to create, or do we just want to create more of what's missing? Okay? It's okay, Joyanne. You're not that late. Source is always creating. So what is it creating? We see it all around us all day long. So what do you think that Source is creating? It creates oxygen. Right? We breathe it. It's our air. Okay? Source is creating that for us all day long. Okay. What else does it create? You know, the currents in the oceans, right? It's always creating. It's always creating. A new child is born, how many in a second? It's always creating. You know, we pass, we transition, and it takes us to this wonderful healing space. You know, I don't talk about heaven and hell because there's no such thing. All right. I'm sorry to burst everyone's bubbles, but come on. We live in 2019 now. We're not in the Stone Ages anymore. There is no heaven and hell. What there is, the heaven and hell that we live in is based on the choices of creation that we make in every single day. All right. The choices that we make in every single day decide whether we create a life of heaven or whether we create a life of hell. That's heaven and hell. We're not going to fire and brimstone, people. I don't know how many of you still believe this, but there's not a place like that, okay? Science has proven the universe. Science has not proven hell. There is no place. A place that we come from is full of love. A place full of love does not create a place full of hate, okay? But it has created this planet that we're living on, and probably several more, where we have freedom of will. We have freedom of choice. And we decide whether we're going to live in heaven or hell on this planet while we are alive in this body. Okay? So just keeping that in mind. All of creation, if all of creation came to a halt, if one day creation said, that's it, I'm done, I'm tired today, I'm off for a week, what do you think would happen? What do you think would happen? We would cease to exist. We would just drop right where we are. It would be over. There would be nothing. There would be nothing. There would be no stars. There would be no sun. There would be no planets. There would be no galaxies, no Milky Way. There would be nothing. If the universe halted, we would be over. That's it. So that's never going to happen because it will go on forever and forever and forever. And there is no beginning and there is no end. Okay? So we have this amazing creation within us. It is in my intention to live. It is my intention to live my life on purpose. It is my intention to live my life on purpose. Now, we talked about purpose earlier. Am I talking about purpose and path here? No. I am going to live my life on purpose. I'm going to live my life purposefully. I am going to choose everything that happens in my life through my creation because I am connected to source and all that is, because it runs through every fiber of my being, because in my mind is infinite. Stop living a very limited life. You don't have to. This is a choice that you make, okay? You must think and feel and act in a way of being creative. We talked about that. If you live your life based upon what others want for you, then you are not on your purpose and you are not creating. What would you be creating if you just keep doing what people tell you to do? Like a little robot. What are you creating? Nothing. You are creating nothing. The only thing you create is more of that. When we talk about what we are missing, we are creating more of what we are missing. Okay, so I work with fibromyalgia. One of the things that I tell my clients all the time, you keep talking about the pain that you're in, you're creating more pain. You keep talking about how you can't sleep, you're not going to sleep. Right? You keep talking about how you're so tired all the time, you will be tired all the time. Right? How you can't move and get out of bed, you won't be able to move or get out of bed. Do you see the power that you have? You are not reporting the news. You are creating your reality. Okay? So when you're not on purpose, you're constantly asking yourself, what did I come here to do? You're not living your life purposely. When you keep asking yourself that, then you are not living your life purposefully. When you are living on purpose, you will find your path. You will know what you're supposed to do because deep down inside, you already do. Okay? Purpose. When you live your life with meaning, with intention, in harmony with source, and in a state of creating. That's when you live on purpose. So let me just say that again. When you live on purpose and with meaning, you're in with intention, purpose, meaning with intention. You are living your life with meaning and intention, in harmony with source and in a state of creating. Then you know that you are on purpose. Okay? Source is always giving, creating, providing. We have to live in the same way. We have to give, create, provide. Some of you say, well, I don't have anything to give. Why does giving have to be money? Why can't you give of yourself? Why can't you compliment people? You know, tell them how wonderful they look. Tell them how beautiful they are inside. Tell them that they are amazing. Isn't that giving? Right? Tell them that they're more than what they think they are, than what they see in the mirror. Isn't that giving? Right? We don't have to give with money all the time. We can give of ourselves, right? We can give of ourselves. We can help people. We can pay it forward. When we learn, we can teach. These are things that are giving, okay? When you can express your creation, express what you've been creating. Don't come up with a wonderful creative idea and save it to yourself, right? Show somebody, teach somebody something. That is giving, okay? So here are some steps. Oh, for one thing, like I said, you know, when you're telling people how much you think that they look great, I walk down the streets. You know what I love about Southampton? There are some things, I find some pros and cons in Southampton, but do you know what I love about Southampton? I walk down the street and everybody says hi. Everybody's smiling. Everybody says hi. And people come up and start talking to you. Okay, and that's kind of cool. I like that about Southampton. I lived in Toronto, big city, millions of people. I got on an elevator one day. Look at me. I got on an elevator one day in Toronto, in a parking garage, to go up to the street level. And Buddy held on to he was looking at what time it was. He saw me come in. I was dressed in my track clothes because I was just bumming around. And he held on to his watch and just like, are you kidding? Do you really think I was going to steal your watch? Like, people live in fear. It's ridiculous. Okay, it's ridiculous. Nobody says hi. You say hi to them and they look at you like you're like on drugs or something. You're walking around the street smiling and they think you're apeshit. Like, so, you know, there's that crazy lady talking to buildings. I'm smiling. You know, and that woman who's talking to buildings, think about it for a second. We're talking to ourselves all the time. If you think that your mind is quiet, the only way your mind is quiet is if you have ego under control. So we're talking all the time to ourselves. What's the difference if you say it out loud or to yourself? Okay, because if you listen to some of the crazy stuff that goes on in our heads, if people heard that, right? And what's the crazy stuff going on in their heads? Maybe she's just a reflection of what we already do to ourselves. Okay? So when we look at someone, don't judge them. Right? Don't judge them. So I'm going to give you guys some steps. You know me, it's challenge time, right? So we're going to get some steps here. So one of the things I want you to think about is I intend to live my life on purpose, not purpose and path, purposefully. I intend to live my life on purpose. I'm going to ask you to start validating and appreciating and loving yourself. Okay, validate, appreciate, and love yourself. Approve of yourself. Don't wait for someone else to approve of you. Okay, approve of yourself. All right? It doesn't matter if others approve of you. It doesn't matter if they approve of you or not. They need to approve of themselves. I mean, it's nice to hear validations and approvals from other people, but you don't need that. Approve of yourself. Validate yourself. If you hear from other people, that's a great bonus. But know who you are, you know, and approve of what you are doing. Let them worry about them, okay? Trust in yourself. I can't tell you how many times I hear people say, I can't trust myself. What does that even mean? Of course you can trust yourself. You've source energy running through every fiber of your being. You have more love that you give to everyone else. Give some of that love to yourself. Give the most love to yourself. You can still love. The more you love yourself, the more love you have to give. It is infinite. There's no like limit to love. I can only love this much. Okay, I've only got this much love. That's it. So you get this much and you get this much. No way. It's infinite. The beautiful things are infinite. The amazing things are infinite. Okay? So if you deny yourself any of these things, that is resistance. Anytime you deny, anytime you are doing something negative with yourself, that is resistance. Okay? When I do my sessions, my complimentary consults with people, one of the first things and one of the things I want to know, why do I do these consults? Yeah, I want to hear your story and I want to tell you what I'm doing. There is a sales piece to it, of course. But what do I really want to know? I really want to know if the person that I'm speaking to is ready to heal. Is the resistance down? When I went to do my healing, when I was going through mine, when I was suicidal, when I didn't want to be here anymore, there was still something in me that said, Aisha, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If they ask you to bite the head off a chicken to make yourself feel better, don't do this. Go get better. Go get well. Connect with source. Okay? Those were the messages that were coming through. And when I think about that time of my life, I get sad. Because I can't believe how disconnected I let myself get. Right? But hey, shit happens. It's the past. It has been. I live from now forward. And I learned a lot from that time in my life. Okay? So there was a purpose to that time of my life as well. And I learned a lot. Okay? So that's what drives me to do what I do with people. So anytime you deny yourself, that is resistance. The people who don't come to watch my videos and learn, resistance. People who want to stay stuck, resistance. Okay? Affirm. No one shows up in your life by accident. There is no accident that you are here today. There is no accident that I am getting to know you. There is no accident into whoever you meet today that's new. Everything was orchestrated for the intention that you are creating, for what's coming out of your mouth, thoughts that you're having. Okay, what are the messages and the people that are showing up for you? Nothing happens by accident. Everything is synchronicity. Everything. If we only knew how beautiful everything was set up for us, we would be playing this game so differently, right? Understand that there is meaning. There is meaning in your existence. There is a meaning in your existence, okay? Seize every opportunity to serve others, even in the smallest of ways. These are your challenges, right? To notice, to observe, to be creative, to give, all right? Remember, in this lifetime, in this body, you came with nothing except the energy inside you, connected to intention. Besides that, you didn't bring anything material with you, and you aren't taking anything with you. All right? So how important is all the stuff that we have? Right? I'm not saying go give away everything and join a cult. I'm saying don't put so much importance on the material stuff, because you're not going to take it with you. It's just going to be here when you go. Okay? So that's not the important pieces. Surrender your little mind, which is your ego. Surrender your little mind to the big mind. Surrender your little mind, ego, to the big mind that is source. There's a challenge and a half, right? I double dog dare you to do that one, all right? Double dog dare you. Surrender your little mind to your big mind, okay? And keep asking yourself, how may I serve? How may I serve? I come here every day to talk to you guys as often as I can, and I'll be coming even more, because this is how I serve. I help people who are suffering from the symptoms of fibromyalgia. That's what I do in my clinic. That's not the stuff that you see me doing here. That's the work that I do. Using energy, using the mind, using the body, we are eliminating fibromyalgia. I went to a fibromyalgia group. I listened. I can only listen for 5 or 10 minutes, because remember what I said about creating? People are creating in that group like mad. You know what they're creating? Pain, suffering, sabotage. It hurts me to listen. I can't even. It hurts me to listen to that group. Holy, whew. Okay, so it hurts me to listen to that group because they're creating illness in that group. They are creating self-sabotage in that group. They are creating a life of hell in that group. And I can't stay there long. I go and I try and drop in a few messages and hope that somebody hears me, and I leave, because it's so much. It's so much. So how may I serve? I subject myself to that, to listening to that, so I can try and pull some people out of it. I come here every morning to talk to you, to send you some messages. This is how I serve. And I feel love through it. I feel good. These are tears of feeling good. Believe it or not, I feel good doing what I'm doing, even when I have to listen to that and it hurts. But I feel good because I know that I can do something well. I know that I can create for those who stop denying themselves. Okay? So in that, wow, I need to end this day, this talk, because wow, I didn't know I was going to go there today. But everything happens for a reason. Everything is synchronicity. My tears are synchronicity. Knowing that my passion is synchronicity. Being here today, trying to reach out to some people. Nothing is an accident. Nothing. But if people don't notice and if people don't observe, they're going to miss the signs. So I ask you this. If you had fibromyalgia right now, if you were suffering from any symptoms of that, where your body feels bad, would you deny yourself the opportunity to get better? How valuable is your life? How valuable is your life? How valuable is the life of a loved one? Because when you get well, how much better will you be for all those people that you claim to love? Getting well is the biggest gift that you can create for anyone. Because you can pay me for my sessions, but if you choose to be resistant, then there's no gift. But if you pay me for my sessions and you get well in a short time, think of the gift that you give to someone else. Think of the gift that you give to the people that you love. So how much would you give for that? What kind of value does that have for you? $100? $10,000? Would you sell your house? Not asking you to do that. But how important is that to you? And can you buy that? Can you just go to the store and buy a box and open it and there it is? Wellness. Can you buy that? And how important is it for you? So how may I serve? If you're in a bad place, get well. Get well. That's how you can serve. That's the biggest gift that you can give. All right? Get well. Connect. So that is my message today. And have a great day. Holy crap. All right. I will talk to you guys tomorrow morning. All right. We'll talk about the second face of intention. All right. Which is what? Think about it. I'm going to tell you the word, but we're going to talk about it. It's kindness. It is kindness. All right. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Look at my reflection in the mirror. I see that is not the person who lives inside of me. Done with all the fear and doubts, the negativity. I'm shedding all the crap right now. I'm